On today's show, Incensed podcast hosts are dropping like flies. Masterful 27 has fallen into an ultra wormhole. Casual Coops is recovering from his arrival at the cavity search area. And Milo and I are recovering from the beast of an event in London. Welcome back to Incensed Podcast. Boys, this is becoming a regular thing. Nice intimate show, just three of us again.
Who's going next? That's what I want to know.
Well, it ain't me, and it ain't you.
It's going to say it's not Ian, he ain't got a life like us, Milo.
I literally, we said this before we started recording, I have zero life, so it isn't going to be me.
Can I just check, Ian, before we move on, are you referring to the Ultra Beasts, or is Beast the nickname that you've now called in Milo? Is it Milo the Beast, or...?
You flatter me, sir.
Beast from the X-Men, like the big blue fluffy thing.
Bro, I don't know.
He only knows Lord of the
watch
Rings,
X-Men.
He doesn't know X-Men.
Yeah, see? Exactly.
That's it.
Ginger Gandalf. Yeah, snap. Ginger Gandalf.
Nice.
Ginger Gandalf only.
Jinx.
Ian,
Jinx,
are you good?
Smoochum.
Are you good, dude?
Coops, have you managed to walk properly yet again after all the body cavity searches at the airport?
How extensive was
I'm
it?
going to ignore you. Did you hear what Milo said? He asked you how you were and you ignored him to talk to me to try and take the piss, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I spoke to Milo at the weekend.
He'd
I
rather
spoke to
ask
you. I've not
about
seen you for
your
2 weeks.
strip search and security than answer my question.
When the latex glove goes.
No, luckily there was none of that. But yeah, no, it's good to be back, boys. Apologies to all the listeners for last week. Yeah, had some Pokemon issues, so I couldn't join. But apart from that, it's good to be back. And yeah, I feel like next week I wouldn't have seen Mark for like a month,
In
literally.
a fair while, that's for damn sure.
But it's nice to have you back.
Thank you. It's nice to be back. And how are both of you, obviously, after your weekends with the beasts?
Well, I think it's safe to say that we're now not hungover anymore.
Okay, yeah, sure. It's been a few days.
Yeah, there was a raid day, wasn't there?
It was the raid day.
Thank God that was a 6-hour raid day. We were not fresh. Let's just say that.
And actually, speaking of the raid day, let's get into this. Casual Coops, the casual from Croydon. All he was doing was sending us raid invites for Pheromosa.
Bruv, that's all I had. That's literally all I had. I was only sending you what I had.
Oh, we did think like, so what's he got locally? It's Pheromosa.
That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, why isn't he sending us Katana or something? It's just like Pheromosa. We're like, no, we're out.
Guys, I can only give you what Niantic give me. If it's Pheromosa, it's Pheromosa. If it's Pidgeys, it's Pidgeys, right? I can't do much more than that.
Speaking of Pidgeys, new season, they're back. But speaking of new season, we're in December now. We are recording this on December 1st.
Pinch punch, first day of the month.
Almost
no returns.
Christmas, yeah. Pretty soon, Coops, you need to be going on that Delibird hunt.
I know, mate. I know. Tap.
On every Delibird.
I like what you
Yeah,
did there.
yeah. You never know, you might find a purple one.
Mm-hmm. Did you all open your advent calendars this morning?
You're acting like I have one.
Oh, I suppose you've got no girlfriends to.
I've got no
be-
life either.
No, nobody buys us advent calendars.
I'm playing. Sorry, that was
We're
shots
all
fired.
alone.
I opened the one. I opened day one
alone.
box, and it's the box for the next month is a Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
Milo's advent calendar is basically 24 things he bought from Amazon on Black Friday.
As long as they're wrapped up, that can work,
Yeah.
right?
But it is December, so it's time to pour a glass of Glühwein and
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
And please let us know on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Hive, Campfire, or WhatsApp at Incensed Podcast, or old school by email at incensepodcast@yahoo.com about anything that you want to flex using the hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Could you clarify that spelling?
The hashtag is hashtag SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. And now,
Children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed Podcast.
we've not done this for a while, and maybe it's lack of creativity, but I thought it'd be nice to actually get some of
is.
your...
Sorry, don't.
This is bad with me making Justin
Yeah.
figure out
Figure out
That's
the
where I got the
questions.
idea from, actually.
Actually, don't do yourself down. We credited Coops for outsourcing. You've outsourced again as well, so well done. Ian.
Exactly.
Been resourceful.
So we've asked for some of your questions, and actually we didn't give you very long, 12 hours to send in some questions. Now, we did get a couple of WhatsApp questions, which we're going to save purely because some of us didn't get time to edit them onto the soundboard, but that's a different story.
What have they got in store for us this time?
Okay, so first question from GoHub's own Spindiana. Being as everyone is posting their music summary of the year, who are your top 5 artists of 2022?
Ian and I might be in a bit of a pickle with this because we don't do
have
Spotify. We do Apple Music and podcasts. But Apple Music are doing something called Apple Replay now. They finally cottoned on that what Spotify were doing is actually quite smart, so they come up with their own.
So because I am a Spotify boffin and none of you guys have it, I will go first and I'll let you figure out your Apple.
That's because
Apple
we use a
Music
superior
ways
system of Apple Music.
No. Boo, boo. Spindiana, good question. And my top artists of 2022, according to Spotify, are in 5th place is Tion Wayne, who is a rapper from London. Number 4 is Central C, who is another rapper. Number 3, this is really interesting because I've actually spoken about this artist before on the podcast, and the reason why my voice is a little bit... Wait. And the reason why my voice is a little bit broken is because I actually have gone to see them twice in the last week, and I'm going again next week. So number 3 on mine is N-Dubs, which I've spoken about before. Leave me alone, Ian. Oh, here he goes. Number 2 is going to be Dave, which is another rapper. You can tell I like my rap music. And number 1, Ian did guess it bang on. He is the lead singer of N-Dubs, and it is Dappy. That is my number 1.
So predictable.
Milo's going to go, Wilkinson, Armin van Buren.
You're actually wrong both times.
Oh,
Jeremy Clarkson, is he on?
It's not funny enough, not a big music creator. Something. In 5th place for me is Subfocus.
Oh, I like them.
Him, you mean?
Yeah.
4th place is Graphics. 3rd place is Liquid Soul. 2nd place, Tempo Justo. And in 1st place is actually a combination. It's Example and K9.
Literally never heard of any of them apart from Subfocus.
okay, and this is where the age difference really hits. Okay.
Adele, Christina Aguilera,
So
Britney
my
Spears.
top-
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
Milo was saying that after he listens to my top 5. Okay, so my top 5, but yeah, again, probably does show that I'm a little bit older than you guys. So in 5th place is Fleetwood Mac, and really sad news about Christine McVie yesterday.
Yeah, that was sad. Yeah.
In 4th place is Aerosmith.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
don't even start there. They're amazing. They rock.
No, I won't. No, I know. I just don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Love that song. I got the joke. 3rd place is Kid Rock. 2nd place is Taylor Swift.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It seriously
is. It really?
It seriously is.
Okay.
And in 1st place, Guns N' Roses. They're my top 5.
All 3 got very different tastes in music.
Yes, indeed.
God, Ian, I knew you'd be trouble when you walked in.
Oh, good God.
You're not the first person to say that, mate.
And speaking of this, I've obviously got Mark's as well. Mark sent me his top 5 of the year. So in 5th place, Incensed, a Pokemon Go podcast. In 4th place, we've got
Rural Trainer.
Incensed, a Pokemon
I want
Go.
to hear the Wurzels in there.
But, oh my God.
Combine Harvester.
And in,
I'll give you the key.
in 3rd and 2nd place, Incensed, the Pokemon Go podcast.
And in 1st place, load
And
up.
in 1st place... yeah.
I was going to Waylord, to be honest.
Oh,
I was going to go along the joke and say Kansas City by Oklahoma, but fine.
that's a good song as well.
Yeah, bro, tune. I got the Kansas City, a banger, absolute banger. But yeah, right. Next question. What's the next
question? Okay, this comes from our very own HermesNinja. Very important question: dark milk or white chocolate?
I got sweet tooth, so I'm going white chocolate.
Can I answer this like me, or do you just want a straight?
No, because
answer it
if
like
it's
you.
answering like you, you're going to give all the answers.
This is what I want to
It
hear.
depends what mood I'm in.
Okay, so here's the thing, yeah.
What position I'm sat in.
Right, so here's the
where
thing.
the moon
I
is.
hate so what crystals I've got on. So here's the thing.
Coops was like, sometimes I like a Mars bar because they're so usable.
Ian, I'm talking. So I hate dark chocolate, right? But I love dark chocolate digestive biscuits. I feel like all milk chocolate's kind of elite, so that's going to obviously take the dub. But I also do love white chocolate, but I don't like it in like bars. I like it in like, you can get like the Lindt balls.
Yeah.
So
Little balls.
it's very sort of, they've all got their ups and downs, but I would say probably the most elitist would definitely be milk chocolate. For
Okay,
me.
well, you flowered around the answer, where you could have just gone straight for the answer, and I'm just going to give you the answer.
Bro, I said that though.
Milk
I said,
chocolate.
Do you want... Okay,
Simple.
fine. Well done.
Milk chocolate.
Do you know what I'll do? For the next 2 questions or 3 that I'm going to answer, it's so simple.
Go
Watch
for
this.
it. Okay, so the next one is from another patron, actually, MLFolk2022. What song would you actually pay money to never hear again?
I don't want to miss a thing by Aerosmith.
That's a very tricky question because there's so much I would like to get rid of.
There is some terrible music, some bad music.
Well, ML Folk has slapped you, Ian, and said Taylor Swift for sure.
Yes.
delete.
I'm trying to think of like a really annoying song that comes around every year that you just want to get rid of forever.
Mariah Carey.
Let's save that one. We'll use that one a bit
I
closer.
was going to say, yeah. One, I think I would love to delete this because it caused genuine pain when I was at school doing my GCSE sculpture, and it was on the radio, I swear, every 5 minutes was... Is it called Rack City? Is that it?
Oh, by Tiger. Rack City, Rack City.
I honestly wanted to bury my head in the kiln every time that song came on. Delete that thing. It's heinous.
That's so random, bro. I like that, though. That's so random.
Probably not been played for like 10 years. But I swear it was on.
Yeah,
it was on Radio 1 every 3 minutes. They go, and we're going to play this one again. It's like, I want to bludgeon you to death.
It would have been on the A-list, so they'd have played it on every single show of the day. So for me, thinking back over all of the bad music, I would probably say I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. It's not played very often,
yeah.
but it is
Yeah.
awful. Absolutely
Cringy as-
awful. Yeah.
Cringy as hell.
JB's been on, and he asks, what song would describe your 2022? And which Pokemon would you want to perform it?
Oh.
This is very music-based tonight.
Obstagoon singing Taylor Swift's 22.
Will that have the comedy move obstruct?
No, it'll have the Conde move Frenzy Plant. You know this,
Frenzy
bro.
Plant,
You
oh.
know this, bro.
What an amazing trilogy of things. I've got to pick Stardust by Alex Morph. And probably I'd have Yveltal screaming that in a horrible way at people.
Okay, I'm going to go left field here. The song that would probably describe my 2022 would be The Times They Are A-Changin'. And I honestly have no idea which Pokemon I would want to sing it.
Pick one. Bulbasaur. There you go.
Coops?
Man, these music questions are so hard because there's so many options, right?
It's music and chocolate orientated tonight.
So the last question for tonight is actually, it's a 2-part one from @96_Tom L. And they ask just 2 questions for all the lads. What was the last book that you read from start to finish? And if you could all invent something to benefit yourselves, what would it be?
I need a moment to think.
Reading, for me, I've read loads of books, but I've never actually finished them. I'm kind of like that with series as well.
Don't like endings.
Yeah, right. And I hate the fact I'm saying this because this is so embarrassing. The last book that I actually read was like from start to finish, like the question asks, is genuinely when I was 15 and I was in year 11 at school. How bad is that? Is that bad?
Feels like that.
Is that bad or is that quite normal?
To be honest, I'm probably on that same
Yeah,
wavelength with my A levels.
Yeah, like I could genuinely give you like 20 books that I've not finished, but if I'm being honest, I was
Does
15.
the Switch instruction manual count?
I mean, no. So if we do have any listeners that aren't from the UK, so when you get to year 11, right, and you're like 15, 16 years old and you're studying English, there's 2 books. I don't know if it's the same now, but there's 2 books that you can do. Is Of Mice and Men, and the other one is To Kill a Mockingbird. And there's no other choices. That's all you get.
Mockingbird's
That would have
amazing,
been,
isn't
that would have
it?
been
Yeah.
your year
Mockingbird's
selection.
amazing, yeah.
It changes every sort of like
does it?
3 years. Yeah.
Ah, right. So yeah.
So
So
I
genuinely,
got-
I've not finished.
I can't
I've not finished. So
All right, fine. Sorry, man. It's all right.
Coops' time.
He's still got more books to list.
I'm joking. I wasn't on last week. I'm joking. No. So yeah. So the last book that I read from start to
The
finish.
little engine
was
that
when I
could.
The Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh, it was 50 Shades of Grey. No, it was genuinely To Kill a
Oi.
Mockingbird. That is it.
With
What were you
Justin.
going to say, Milo? Yeah.
I despise reading. It's not easy with my dyslexia, genuinely. I've struggled with reading my entire life, so I've always gone for audiobooks, personally.
That technically would count if you listen to an audiobook.
But now it's podcasts. and has been for a long time. So that's how I get my fix. But genuinely, the last book I would have read start to finish would have been something related to my A-levels, and I forget what texts I did. It would have been some Shakespeare bollocks, I'm sure. Probably.
The last book I read was it's a James Bond continuation novel by Anthony Horowitz, which actually came out this year, and it's called With a Mind to Kill.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, love a James Bond book, even if they're not Ian Fleming. The novels they're pretty good. And say Anthony Horowitz, very, very, very good author. If you could invent something that would benefit yourself, what would it be?
An extra pair of hands.
Jesus, why, Milo?
Live streaming capabilities.
Oh, yeah, true.
I thought you was going somewhere else then.
No, that's only Coops thinking like that.
But I'll keep it like this. So I would actually invent a penis enlargement machine so I could let Ian borrow it for the night.
Coops, they actually exist.
Yes, that's not new.
Have you not seen Austin Powers?
Sorry, mate, I just don't need to use one.
It's not what your missus said.
Also not seen Austin Powers, bless him.
I would create a machine where you could put like loads of your ingredients in, and then it just like makes the meal. So, for example, I've got like this box, and I'll throw in spaghetti, I'll throw in bolognese, I'll throw in sauce, onions, mushrooms, etc., etc., and then I just go spaghetti bolognese, and all of a sudden it goes bang, and then it actually creates me like a spaghetti bolognese, so I don't have to stand there and cook it for half an hour.
That's called Just Eat, isn't it?
I was going to say that's called Deliveroo.
Your delivery, yeah. But free, Milo, free is what we're talking about.
For free.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not physically going to invent something myself, but I'm actually going to take inspiration from a film. Back to the Future Part 2, I would actually invent the hoverboard, but not the stupid hoverboard with wheels, a proper hoverboard, because they are just amazing.
So, a levitating skateboard.
Yes, basically.
That's a great way of breaking your wrists.
Well, I break my
Fantastic.
ankles nearly every time I go out.
Yeah, you did, actually. You broke your ankle. on the road
I am
day.
accident prone, yes.
Yes.
Accident
You were
prone.
stumped by a 1/4-inch curb on Sunday.
Seriously, the council in Ealing needs suing because literally there's about a 1/4-inch drop between the actual sidewalk and a repair that they'd done. It was just stupid.
Nice.
So if you're listening, people from Ealing Council, fix a sidewalk.
Oh, big
pavements, or
listeners.
whatever you want to call them. I think we've got to know each other a little bit there. But something that you all want to know is what's happening in the new
Boys,
season.
good news.
What?
So, as we did mention in the introduction, I think it was from a good friend of the show, Spindiana. He did ask about our top 5 artists of the year, hashtag Spotify Wrapped. Now, gents, I think we did this last
Hashtag
year.
Apple Music Replay.
Yeah, hashtag
Apple Music Replay.
If I had this soundboard, I'd go, eh. But no, we have had a few people tag us. And I know we did this last year, which was awesome, on their Spotify Wrap. So, boys, if it's okay, I'd love to take out 2 minutes because we really value and appreciate our listeners. And we've had a fair few without even really asking for people to share them to us. Is that okay with you, gents?
Yeah, let's do it. Milo, other one.
Sorry. Slip of the right hand, I apologise.
That's why you need another pair of hands to click the right button.
Yeah, exactly. Quite, exactly. See?
Anyway, back to the Spotify Wrapped. So we have had some on Instagram at Evan, the blonde one. And gentlemen, you will never guess what. We are number 1 on his top
Whey.
podcasts.
Yes. Just out of interest, Coops, whose is number 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Incensed podcast. Yeah, he just listens to us. And up next, we have had one from our good friend of the show, Kate, and she did tweet us. A little bit disappointed with this one, Kate. I don't really know why I'm reading it out, but on her top podcasts, we were second.
Kate, what you doing?
Boo.
Let us down.
Kate, I'm only joking. We love you, really. And I did get one from M from at ESM_Jill, and she did tweet us, and I'm pretty sure, I can't see it anymore, but I'm pretty sure she did tweet us a screenshot of us being on her Spotify Wrapped, and unlike Kate, I'm sure we're first as well. Now, moving on to our favourite application, at Incensed Podcast on Twitter. We did get one by the Terry Wolf Level 50 Pokemon Go. Again, I don't really know why I'm reading this out because on this one we're only 4th.
Ooh. Why are we mentioning it?
Have you got the gasp?
Oh, Terry, I'm only joking, mate. Thank you very much for sharing. And on his list, there also is the Go Cast as well, and the Pokemon Go podcast as well, which is awesome. If you've not checked those
All
out,
above us.
please do as well. No, one was.
Oh.
And up next, Lachlan Firth. He said, so I'm at Coops the Casual. You said last year Incensed better be number one over at PokeProfNet. I hope I made you and the boys proud. So yes, Sir Lachlan, we are first.
Yay!
With GoCast second and Lured up third, and Waste Spotters are in fifth place there.
Eggy fart.
And for the last one of today's shout out, boys, if that's okay, we did get one from Apex on Twitter. He said, shout out to the boys at Incensed Podcast and at the Whale Lords for keeping me sane this year. Thank you and much love. And of course, to end off today, boys, we were first again. Let's freaking go.
Nice. Yes.
And yeah, there's the Whale Lords and
Yeah.
Lured up on there. Guys, I just want to say this opportunity as well to say there are some incredible Pokemon Go podcasts out there. There's plenty of them. So please do, if you are a listener of Incense and you do love our podcast, please check out. There are so many more. Just type in sort of Pokemon Go on Spotify, Apple, any other platform. Like I said, there's loads out there. Dip your feet in the water and don't just listen
All
to
the
us.
ones that beat us.
Yeah.
Or we beat them. Yeah.
No. But for real though, there's plenty of other amazing people creating amazing podcasts. So do that. And of course, just to end off this segment, please do tag us on any of our platforms if we are part of your Spotify Wrapped. And
If there is an Apple Podcast review or replay or whatever it's called, let us know.
Yeah. And genuinely, thank you for listening. So whether we're in your number one spot or your number 5
yeah, that was just a joke. That was
thank you for
purely
listening.
banter. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We really do.
Yes.
Bro, do you know what is my? Do you know what's my worst worry? That people actually listen to this, and like when I'm bantering up with full, like people actually like, oh my god, like this guy's so rude. I hope people
I
never
need to do better in 2023.
Next year I must listen a bit more.
Yeah.
We'll get a mock-up bit of artwork with Coops like a Lord Kitchener thing from World War One,
Yeah, yes.
saying, "You listen to Incensed."
A ginger Lord Kitchener.
You know, I knew you were going to say that. Do you know that?
Let's get back to what everybody's wanting to know. Milo's going to talk to us more specifically about an event that everybody's looking forward to that's coming in February. In the first part of tonight's...
It's the news.
We are kicking off this show with Pokemon GO Tour, Hoenn, and the event in Las Vegas. 78 days, in fact it will be 75 days at the time of this release. First and foremost is the dates and the times. So both the events are going to be 10 till 6, but the Las Vegas one will be February the 18th and the 19th, and then there'll be a global one on the 25th and the 26th of February, so the tail end of February 2023. It's basically going to be focused around Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Now, currently for the Las Vegas event, there is until the 31st of December 2022 a discount on the ticket that you can buy. It's $25 at the moment, as opposed to $30 that it will become when you try and buy it in 2023.
Now, before we go any further, Milo, the ticket is discounted, and if you plan on going to this event, take advantage of this discounted price, because the ticket price is only a base price.
Yes.
By the time you've added on your optional extras and taxes included, you're looking at the best part of $100 for this ticket.
So, absolutely, if you want to buy a ticket, it covers for 1 day, and then there is a Raid Lover and an Egg Lover kind of bonus, which are each
Egg
$15.
Hatcher, isn't it? Is it Egg Hatcher?
Egg Hatcher, something like that, yes.
But you can also buy the second
second day.
day, can't you?
Awesome events, which will be great, but that is live in Vegas, the 18th and 19th of February, so tickets are now available for that. And this is where it gets a bit sketchy because of the layout of the article. So some exclusive things, which we believe are exclusive at this point, will be happening in Vegas, teaming up with Go Rocket. So Las Vegas will be able to take part in an exclusive adventure and work alongside Team Go Rocket leaders for the very first time. Have they changed their ways, or is it all a trap? We'll find out on that weekend, but there's going to be something to do with the research there. Shining surprises, new data coming in as the Professor Willow's stumped. Basically, a better chance of encountering shiny Pokemon discovered in the Hoenn region. Complete your Hoenn Dex, shiny Pokemon discovered and never seen before shiny Jirachi encounter. There will be some overlap with this in terms of global event versus Las Vegas, and we're going to have a discussion about it because there's a lot to go over. But the thing that has got everybody hyped, Primal Surges. Bringing in Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon on that day. They will be in Primal Raids for the first time ever in Pokemon Go.
Ding ding
which
ding
is
ding 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 ding
chic.
ding
That
ding
will
ding
be
ding ding
awesome.
ding.
It will be
Amazing.
amazing.
And also a Masterwork Research wish granted. Wishes can come true. Just ask Jirachi. So ticket holding trainers in Las Vegas will be able to access a special Masterwork Research and will have the first chance to encounter Shiny Jirachi. So Shiny Jirachi is confirmed as. We have a selection of raids. Unfortunately, the 5-star raids are going to be chock full of all the forms of Deoxys, which is wonderful.
People probably
They
won't
won't raid them because everyone's going to be focusing on the Primal Raid tiers with Primal Kyogre and Groudon in them, which is fantastic. The habitats. We have Habitat Blistering Sands featuring, they only list 4 Pokemon and more. That's what they do. So Torchic, Nincada, Cacnea, Bagon, and more.
The second habitat will be the Eerie Mists, and in that habitat you'll be able to encounter Surskit, Meditite, Chimecho, Absol, and more.
And I will just say, I know the boys haven't said, but every single Pokemon that they've mentioned so far can be shiny, and that is continuing through to the habitat, the Verdant Earth, which is going to be Trico. Hey, Milo, don't...
Yes.
Jizz. Wurmple, Mawile.
Too late.
And Gulpin.
Gulpin finally getting it shiny. And the final biome will be Ancient Shores, including Mudkip, Lileep, Feebas, and Clampo, and more. And I'm assuming there's going to be a damn sight more Pokemon than that.
So, of course, being a Pokemon Go live event, there will be eggs to hatch. There's a few things. So, in 2K eggs, which will probably be event-specific 2Ks, you will be able to encounter Pichu, Igglybuff, Trico, Torchic, Mudkip, Azurill, and Wynaut. I still need Wynaut as a shiny.
So in 5-kilometer eggs, which I would say is probably the best batch that you can hatch, these are epic, are going to be Surskit, Gulpin, and Cacnea. So yeah, that is... Boys, can I do the 7Ks? That was weak. Can I carry on?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Go on, yeah.
So for the 7K, I mean, is this
This
more
isn't much
exciting?
better, man.
But in the 7Ks, you can hatch Trapinch, Feebas, Bagon, and of course Beldum. I kind of want to do the 10Ks, but I'm not going to be selfish.
Sorry. So the 10-kilometer eggs is where it's really at, because unlike previous tour events like the Johto Tour and the Kanto Tour, the regional Pokemon for that region are in the eggs. They're not in 3-star raids, as far as we know. So in 10-kilometer eggs, you will find Torkoal with the shiny potential, Tropius with the shiny potential, Koops. I can hear your GBL tapping.
Still, bro.
Waiting for it.
Still no Tropius.
And finally, Relicanth with the new shiny potential.
Now, this is a new mechanic, but if you think about it, it's no better. In fact, it is worse than having them in raids because you can't target what you want.
I would say it's worse, personally,
Yes.
just because we know picking up eggs, you can't delete them. You can't target specific
You have to
one.
hatch them, so you're going to need the egg hatcher
And
add-on.
So the 10-kilometer eggs, you're going to have to pray that you're not going to pick up a 2 or a 5k.
Yeah,
try
the
and hatch
7Ks
these.
you can somewhat control.
Indeed. You only get a certain amount of those per day, which is unfortunate. So, legendary photo opportunities. Take a snapshot during the event for a surprise, and it has an image of Latios and Latias on there. They are the roaming legendaries of Gen 3, so they may or may not be appearing via snapshot.
There will be timed research called Go for a Spin, and you'll be able to encounter, well, I'm guessing potentially all forms of Spinder, and again, will be able to be shiny.
There's going to be some field research as well. My favourite, collect Mega Energy and catch Ghost-type Pokemon with new field research tasks. Trainers with a ticket will have a boosted chance of receiving this research. That definitely won't be me.
And exclusive in-game bonuses for ticket holders. Make the most of these event bonuses with additional add-on bonuses, which we mentioned. So there's the Raid Lover, the Egg Enthusiast, and Sunday and Saturday Pass add-ons, as we mentioned before. Ticket holder exclusive bonuses are 6 special trades can be made within the park, so 6 special trades per, well, doesn't say
It
per
could be
day,
within
I'm
the park
wondering.
area, like a safari.
But I'm
zone or a
wondering if
Go
you buy the
Festival,
2-day ticket, whether you'll get 6 Saturday, 6 Sunday.
Yeah, of
maybe,
course,
or maybe not, because
I
they
think
don't say per day.
I think it actually says that when you click the article to have a little look at what like the Egg Enthusiast and the Raid Lover means. I genuinely think you can get 6 trades per
does it?
day.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Should
I've
be
read
both
that.
That might be
days.
good for lucky friends then.
Apologies if I've made that up. Fake news, but I'm sure.
I think you might be right, and I just might be
Yeah.
an idiot, so that's
Yeah.
absolutely fine. Bonus 50% Stardust cost for trades made within the park, so half trade cost. Increased in chance of encountering shiny Pokemon, which we all love. Half hatch egg distance, and up to 9 free raid passes from spinning photo discs at gyms. And finally, it's a bonus for our podcast. Incensed will give a boosted chance of encountering costume Pokemon and unknown.
Ooh, now it'll be interesting what letters they actually get for unknown.
So that is actually all of the Vegas article info that I can see. But on the note of unknown, Ian, they did have on the poster, I think, Unknown H I saw.
Maybe it'll spell Hoenn Tour.
I hope so. There will, of course, be meet with notable trainers in Las Vegas, Hoenn Tour Las Vegas t-shirt available, and explore Sunset Park. So Sunset Park in Las Vegas is where this is going to be held. And actually, we had Pokemon Master Holly.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, yeah.
She's been to that park a lot. I've seen it online. It looks like a sick location.
It does look nice. Yes.
So those are all the details really for Vegas. There'll obviously be habitats, IRL, and photo opportunities, etc. But we're not going to bore you with all of that. So we're going to move on to the global event, which will begin on the 25th and the 26th, so the following weekend in February. Special research chasing legends. So this will be special research focused on this weekend. Ree from the Go Ultra Recon Squad. Professor Willow has tasked Ree with researching Hoenn folklore and the red and blue orbs. So basically this is the global version of the Jirachi research. The primals will be available again in raids, except an additional tier raid has been made available. I can see everyone's going to go for this over the primal Kyogre and Groudon. Is the 1-stars with Trico, Torchic and Mudkip
Well,
in
I know
them.
Masterful 27 will be.
100%. Loves a 1-star raid, that guy. But the biomes are exactly the same as per the Vegas event that we read out earlier. The eggs are identical. That's it, really. Looking back at it, there is an increased chance at the Las Vegas live event for collecting 10-kilometer eggs, or them dropping from spinning stops,
Well, that
versus
makes
the global
sense.
event, which doesn't, because obviously everyone's going to chase those regionals. Now,
So
it does
basically,
say
if you want the shiny regionals, you need to go to Vegas.
if you want a better chance of getting them, that's for damn sure. So, new features and items is a subtitle, and it says check back soon for additional info. So this is not the end of the info drop for the global Hoenn Tour.
It can't be, can it? Because they don't really tell us anything in that when you
Not really.
boil it down.
It's all very samey, apart from the fact that they've clarified there'll be a research masterwork thing for Jirachi. I did read somewhere that obviously if you go to the Las Vegas event and collect the research there, you won't be able to get the global one as a duplicate. So you only get one depending on which one of the events you go to and turn up at, basically.
And also, scrolling through the article, and I don't think you touched upon this, apologies if you did, of course you will have the option to choose a badge, obviously ticketed event, so you will have to pick between Ruby and Sapphire.
Groudon or Kyogre.
And the team you pick will shape certain aspects of the event.
Yeah, so it'll be like the branch research. I'm wondering
and if you
we
go
can...
to Vegas and you pick the badge, that will carry over to the global event should you get the global event ticket as well.
Yes, so we can have a chat about that, because obviously we've played Johto Tour, we've played Kanto Tour. I've seen a lot of people on social media getting a bit sort of tetchy, shall we say, over the global thing.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, or well, some people on Twitter, should we say, kind of targeting the Vegas event, saying it's not fair that people going to Vegas will get this, that, and the other, and it should be made global. Now, I'm not sure whether that's a misunderstanding of the event and them not realising that there will be a global event as well, but there really would be no point in them making the Las Vegas event have a global equivalent when the following week there will be a global event anyway.
Yeah, trying to look through this article, there's more information that looks like it steers towards the Las Vegas event compared to the global event. The article itself is very live event heavy, and it has Las Vegas plastered everywhere. So I can potentially see why people may be misunderstanding it, but there is going to be a global version.
I think it's interesting because we've had Kanto, we've had Johto, and it's just like, when are people going to realise these events are exactly the same? The Las Vegas ticket is exactly the same as the one what you're going to play in your local area. It's the same. The only thing that Niantic do is, because you're going to Las Vegas, they're like, oh, we're going to give you some special trades and half Stardust for trading and more egg and all this crap. Like, it's the same, guys. Do not stress. Definitely play a part of this event. The article looks insane. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You've just got to not stress about that. We've had the Johto, we've had the Kanto. It's all the same. Like I said, we've done Liverpool. It's the same. It's the same event to what I played in my local area. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, if you could go to Vegas, knock yourselves out, it's going to be an amazing event, and live events really don't compare to doing something at home.
Exactly. And it is their way of making people meet up.
If you can't get to Vegas, like Coop said, don't stress about it. You're still going to be able to get a knockout event at home.
I just have no intention of going to Las Vegas for this. I want to go on my stag do, my bachelor party, not for Pokemon Go. But yeah, all I will say, lads, I'll say two things. First of all, rest in peace, Rayquaza. That definitely needs to be said.
Yes.
Yep.
That needs to be said. And secondly, this looks incredible. Like, fair play to Niantic. This really, and I'm not just saying that to be nice, a little part of me was disappointed with Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. I didn't expect them to be in raids, but at the same time, what was I expecting? Because they're basically glorified Mega Raids. Like, what I don't know what I was expecting, but it is what it is. Like, let's move on from that. But in general, this is hype. You know, we're finally getting Groudon and Kyogre back for the XL Candy, the Primal Raids, every single shiny in the Hoenn. It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool. My only advice, like any other event, is just don't hatch eggs, because personally, for me, as a personal opinion, I think they're a waste of time and a scam. But
You'll need
that's
to
my
hatch
opinion.
eggs if you want the regionals.
That's the only thing. As
Yeah.
it stands now,
They're from 10Ks.
That's what I'm saying, and you can't, you understand the cycle here, right? The gambling that we're literally talking about, the loot.
yeah,
Oh,
we've talked
absolutely,
about
yeah,
eggs.
Yeah. You can't delete eggs. You can't
Extensively.
get rid of 2Ks. It's a scam. The whole is set up to be a scam. If you can't see that, then you're crazy. So don't do that. Wait
Exactly,
for another.
because
Yeah.
With raids, you could at least target them. You can't with
Bro,
this. Yeah.
exactly. You're going into a raid, you know what it is. So that's just my opinion on eggs. We spoke about this before. I'm not going to go on about it like a parrot, but yeah, that's what I would say. And again, shiny Relicanth and shiny this and that. It will be an event in 6-8 months. Just hold your horses. It will be
They'll
an
be
event,
back. They will
and
be
you will
back,
look
yeah.
back and think,
Yeah.
why did I hatch 5 million eggs? And
well,
now
let's
everyone's
face it,
yeah.
they're going to be in a Safari Zone. They're going to be in a Go Fest down the road.
They've got to come to various safari zones in the future.
As an event, looks, in my opinion, incredible, and I mean that.
But one Pokemon that suspiciously hasn't been mentioned, and hopefully we'll get information regarding this a little closer
it's
to the
designed
time.
to hide.
Yeah, exactly. It could be hiding in plain sight, or it could just be that they still haven't figured out the mechanic and it won't be part of Hoenn Tour. We don't know yet, but Kecleon.
Yeah, no sign of Kecleon in either article. It is the only remaining missing Gen 3 Pokemon in Pokemon Go.
And it is the one that is stopping you getting that platinum badge.
This is where I'm going to throw a theory out there. I think, like, they've said, this is not all of the information, there's more to come. There's no mention of our favourite type of spawns, Incensed spawns. What's going off of the Incensed globally? There's no word of where the unknown's going to come from for the global event.
It will come.
It will come. This is the thing.
I think Unknown will be off of Incense.
Be patient.
Personally
Be
speaking.
patient. And I do think the regionals will spawn off Incense, like they did for the Global Go Fests in 2022.
Yeah, here's
I
hoping.
think there's plenty of biomes that they could slot into very easily. The 3 new shiny regionals. But Kecleon, it's become like a meme now, hasn't it? It's just a thing. It's like, where's Kecleon? And when we do our Incense podcast meetups, we jokingly put it inside of the poster. Where is it? And I do think they will wait till the last minute to reveal Kecleon will be here. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's released like Shiny Ditto was for Kanto Tour as a guaranteed shiny through research.
Here's hoping, because part of me deep down has no faith in it being released for this event.
They can't do Hoenn Tour without Kecleon.
They can. One article I read said you'll be able to catch most Pokemon from the Hoenn region. I'm hoping that was just a typo.
Boys, let's just relax. Like I said, at the moment, we've had one article. There's normally about 3 or 4 that's released. Yeah. And we also say that we miss the surprises on the day of the events. We miss the hype on social media on the day of the... So let's say we wouldn't be mad if it got released on the day, like Milo said, with no explanation at all. So, you know...
And we've got to love the Gen 3 shiny. Speaking of, Sue's managed to incense a shiny bag on. Nice.
Wouldn't you say, I've been looking through my decks today, Hoenn is already a very shiny dex. There are not a lot of new shinies to be released for this dex.
There aren't. In total, if you include Kecleon and Jirachi, there's 11 in total.
Yeah, there's not a lot
remaining.
left to be released.
Okay.
So there's
fair.
the 3 regionals, Torkoal, Tropius, Relicanth, and then there are 3 shiny families, I think, which all have
Yes.
pairings. There's the Cacnea, Cacturn,
Yeah,
Surskit,
Surskit.
and Masquerain, and then Gulpin, Swallow.
Yeah.
But they're all good shinies.
So which ticket would you likely go for then? The Ruby or the Sapphire?
What one's Groudon, Milo?
Ruby.
Yeah, that one. Ruby.
Ruby.
I can't make my decision because I want to see what the ticket exclusives will be.
I'm veering towards
Ooh,
Ruby, but I
tactical.
should be going Sapphire, really, for my water-type heritage.
You should do Vasafal. It's
Yes.
literally in your name.
God, what would Kyogre with Waterfall say? Bloody hell.
I am drawn to Ruby as well, but don't forget Gen 3, Hoenn has a lot of pairing Pokemon. Solrock, Lunatone, Plus or Minun, Zangoose, Seviper, and then, if Master27 was here, it said Illumise and Volbeat.
Yeah.
And another pairing is Lotad and Seedot. They're they're exclusives in the old games. So I want to see what's going to be stuck with what ticket, to be honest, because there's no word on the Regis either.
There isn't.
I do suspect the Regis might be researched.
People don't care about the Regis, so it really doesn't matter.
PvPers
to be honest,
do.
I don't know why you brought that up, bruv. I was thinking, I'm glad they're not in the event.
Come on, Mr. PvP, surely.
Nah. Well, actually, Milo, I'm not Mr. PvP today. I'm Mr. Game.
Chasing the tail, chasing the tail, tail to chase, it's chasing the tail.
It's going to be a weird one tonight here in the studio. There's only 3 of us playing Chasing the Tail. But boys, first of all, I'm going to give you the rules. The rules are that it's going to be no repeats.
Nice.
If you hesitate for far too long, you're going to get a big fat. And the whole point of the game is you're going to be chasing the tail of the Pokemon that's said before you. So for example, if I say Bulbasaur, the word Bulbasaur ends in the letter R. So then the next person has to say a Pokemon that starts with the letter R, e.g. Rayquaza. Well, bro, am I doing this or are you?
I'm like in your radio voice
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this.
Thank you, Mama. And then obviously the person that says
Mama.
Rayquaza. Okay, bro, really, dude, really? Then the person that says Rayquaza R, because it ends in an A, the next person has to say a Pokemon that starts with the letter A. So for example, Alolan Rat. No, I'm joking. You're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to do Alolan.
No regionals.
No.
No.
Cool.
No regional variants.
So boys, order's going to go on my screen. It's going to go Casual Coops, Pokemon UK, Ian Waterfall, and Milo. Your Pokemon is in 3, 2, 1. Groudon,
Nincada,
Ampharos,
Scaraptor,
Riolu,
Unknown,
Nidoqueen,
Numel,
Ledian,
Nidoran.
No. Ah! I had something swirling around my head. It was the wrong mon. No. I should have gone Noctowl. Bollocks. To kickstart.
Is it already the final? What the hell?
yeah, it's just me versus you, man.
There's no way you can go with this. So, your Pokemon to start off is Tropius,
Spheal,
Ledian.
let's repeat.
Repeated.
No, you said Ladybug, didn't you?
He
No.
said Ledian. Well, that was Chasing the Tail, people, this week.
There we go. See you next week.
Bro, are you for real, bro? Oh my days.
You were so close, Scoopsy.
Oopsie,
So close.
Oh, I'm
So
so
far away.
thick, bruv. How did I not get that? Oh my. Oh, I could have said Lapras. I could have said Bundalenga. Oh, I hate myself. Right. Fine. Well done, Ian.
Well,
None of the
Coops, thank you, man.
tattoos worked.
Thank you, man.
Oh, congratulations.
So while Coops is just cowering in a corner, drooling and rocking backwards and forwards, let's have a bit of a chat about something that happened in 2 cities across the world last weekend. London, firstly, followed by Hollywood, California. It was the Ultra Beast arrival.
It was. Coops could have said London instead of Ledian.
Enough, Milo. Enough.
The hashtag Ultra Beast arrival that took place in London and LA. Live events. Ian and I attended the London one. Obviously, we didn't go to LA.
We did, and we had very different experiences from the same event.
Over at Somerset House, they had a ticket code that they give out to people who arrived. I think it was limited to about 700, 800
people on the terrace area.
Yeah, but it turned out there were people below on the road as well at the end, I think.
Yeah, there was about another 150 people actually on the road.
Yes, so you had to rock up, and we rocked up there fairly early, got ticket codes that you entered in through the rewards website, and that gave you basically a line of research, which meant you had to catch certain Pokemon, and then a whole bunch of exclusive gyms and stops appeared.
Yeah,
to
and
do
it
the
was
Ultra
quite
Beast, yeah.
good. It was well thought out because the event started at 6 p.m. Now, the special research was triggered essentially when you actually got your code activated into
think
your
it
phone
went
and
live at
spun a
about
stop.
4
5
p.m.,
o'clock,
didn't it?
4:30, 5 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The special research kept you busy before the event began, and it was pretty good, actually. There were boosted shiny rates for the
There was a
Pokemon that
boosted
was
shiny
spawning.
rate. Those included a lot of the Alolan Pokemon.
An awful lot. But they had things like Munna there as well.
There was actually ended up being a light projection show, which was really good with a countdown 6 o'clock, the wormhole opened on the side of the wall of Riverside Terrace, and then one by one we had timed raids around each of the gyms dedicated to the Ultra Beast. So it went Nihilego, Buzzwole, and then circled around all of the 7 that we've had, and you had 7 minutes to jump into a raid. You weren't going to have a struggling lobby on these, trust me. Instantly 20 people in the lobby.
Yeah, every lobby was full.
There were free raids.
And there were free raids. You didn't pay for a raid at all for the whole time.
You didn't even need a pass, just as long as, because obviously it's ticket exclusive, so only people with the ticket code entered could access it. They just said, bang, in the raid you go. But this is where our experience differed. There were connection issues.
There were. Let's set the scene for people that don't live specifically in London. London is pretty bad a lot of the time for cellular signal in central London at the best of times.
And then it varies from carrier to carrier.
Yes. It's even worse when you have 700 people in a 300-400 meter area.
It's not a big area. Everyone crammed in, all with the phones and everything. So some people, sadly Ian included, had issues getting into raids and then into the game.
Yeah, now Niantic actually did use as a favour, they put on free Wi-Fi, and they'd actually put sort of Wi-Fi systems in place.
Oh, fair
but
play.
It was,
That's actually...
problem is, it was free Wi-Fi, so anyone that was around could connect to this Wi-Fi.
Again, a great idea, just executed poorly.
I think it was meant to be restricted in some way, because you each got like the code.
You got
that
a QR code, didn't you, to scan?
You had a little classified document with a QR code to scan to get into the Wi-Fi, but I thought that was a password. So did I,
but then when you check your Wi-Fi, it was an open network.
Right, so everybody just joined then.
That's my understanding. There was no other reason why it would be so saturated. The Wi-Fi wasn't working. For some people, I mean, some people, like Milo and a few of Milo's raid crew, were connected and didn't have issues, but there were others that just couldn't get a connection no matter what they tried on either cellular, on Wi-Fi. People were trying to connect to, was it Somerset House's Wi-Fi?
Yes, and then it crashed.
Which then actually crashed and people couldn't use it.
We crashed Somerset House Wi-Fi.
God, you lot are so cool.
I've got to admit, I don't know if the LA experience was the same as what we had. Niantic did what they could. They'd take my hat off to them. Getting an event in London, that's not easy to do.
Bloody difficult.
Yeah, that's not easy to do. So it is good that we actually got our first London event. But I think there are lessons to be learned.
Yes, 100%. Because from what we've heard from a few people handing out the codes started handing them out to random people.
Just walking, just to try
walking
and get
by who weren't
numbers.
playing, who didn't end up coming, and then that meant people who wanted to attend, the codes ran out, and there were issues with that, which is a shame. And also,
they handed multiple codes out to people. So if people want to multi-can, that's totally up to them. We're not judging, but there was a few people that certainly I heard that says, "Oh, I'll have 4 codes, please," and they had 4 phones in their hand. Niantic know this thing happens, and people are going to do it, so that's not the problem, but there were people that wanted to play that couldn't because the codes had all been used up.
Nonchalant attitude to handing out codes, because we were there quite early, there weren't too many people, so everyone was sort of, oh yeah, I'll have the code, yeah, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously as the evening wore on and got closer to the time of the raid starting, the codes are gone.
Well, they'd put the barricades up, had to stop letting people in well before the event started because it was full.
Yes. Full, jam-packed. That was one major issue. It should have been 1 code per person, but if you did manage to play the event and get the raids in, it was fantastic. You could send out tons of gifts to people from these super exclusive stops and gyms. The gyms were being cycled through like nobody's business. Every 5 seconds, somebody was taking it down, trying to get them battled.
Probably the next learning point is that the gym's fine, but they should have locked them off and made it so that people couldn't take them down, because that uses a lot of network capacity. Server. Yeah.
Towards the end of the event, the 7 or 8 gyms that we had expanded, and suddenly we had
double. An outer ring. They were double.
We had an outer ring of gyms, so it doubled the number. And then people who had done their raid of that Ultra Beast and were waiting for the next one to cycle through suddenly thought, I'll start battling that gym. So there were gym battles going on in some gyms under this network, as well as raids happening with 700 or 800 people on it. So there were some problems with the connections, I think, that they could have avoided very easily.
Taking all that to one side, Milo luckily managed to do every raid that was on offer, which I think was about 9 raids.
You squeezed everything in, so you got the 7 Ultra Beasts, 1 per time with the light show, and then the countdown of 3 minutes in between. And I think
then you had 7
minutes on
minutes
each raid
for the last one, which you could potentially just about get 2 raids in.
That was it. There was a final wave where they all spawned on the outer gyms, 1 per time, basically. So you could do probably 2 if you were lucky. I got a circuitry and a Buzzwole as an extra.
So you got 9. I only managed to do, out of the whole event, I could only get connected and managed to raid 3 of the raids, which isn't the end of the world. The atmosphere was electric. People were enjoying themselves, but the frustration was the connection and the amount of people that you could hear blaming Niantic for this, something that's totally beyond their control. We're used to it now after 6 years, let's face it, but the event itself overall was very good. It just could have been improved by tweaking a few things.
Indeed. I think the concept was great. Before the raid day on the Sunday, say, hey, there are 2 of these locations, they're live events, you can go there and do some extra raids if you can turn up. The thing is, it was quite sort of last minute shuffled together, sort of perhaps that was done to keep the numbers down, in which case it sort of worked, rather than saying here's advanced planning and then everyone's going to turn up at like 9 a.m. and start queuing like they do for some exhibitions and stuff like that. But I thought it was a really cool idea, really cool event. Projection show, time raids, there's music and sound effects and stuff. Each of the Ultra Beasts, including the ones that aren't from our European, Middle Eastern and African region, were spawning at these gyms. So we got a Celesteela and we got each of the other ones. We got Circuitry and Buzzwole. So we got access
essentially
to everyone.
everything that has currently been released in terms of Ultra Beasts was available. After the event finished on the Sunday, the sort of global event for everybody, fan footage started to drop about new Ultra Beasts that are coming. And Coops, some of the ones that you actually mentioned a few weeks ago
are
coming
play
soon.
your decks right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Persephone.
I think this is the problem that I have with the event. And like I said, if I wasn't busy, I would have been there. But I just, guys, do you ever have a really good experience in life, right? And someone says, oh, can you leave me a review? And you're like, yeah, of course I will. I've had a lovely holiday. I've had a lovely experience. Yeah, I'll leave a review. And you leave the venue. And then about 3 months later, you're laying in bed and you think, oh my God, I never left that review that I promised I was going to do. And then you think, oh, too late now, can't be asked. Right? We've all been there.
Yes.
I want to ask questions and I want to get involved and I want to be like, yeah, Ultra Beasts hype. Boys, I don't care. I'm just going to level with you. And like I've said to you, great event, great idea. This would have worked perfectly for the new Ultra Beasts that we're still waiting to come out yet. But
absolutely,
when you've got them, when they're not shiny, when you've got them all on your Pokedex, when they've all been out and rotated 4 times in the last 3 months, boys, I'm not being negative. I'm really sorry. I'm over it. And again, a bit like what we said about the Wi-Fi, great touch. Poorly implemented, the same as this event. Great event. I'm sure the energy was electric, and like I said, I would have been there. Just for me, bad timing. Everyone's over it. We want to move on. No one cares about.
You're not alone. With that sentiment.
And I apologise if I'm sticking true to myself. That's just how I feel about it.
That's fair enough.
A lot of people were expecting a new Ultra Beast to be dropped.
Yeah, but
because there's one like central gym, but
this is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing. Is that we should say this, Ian, is that at the end of the event they had like the countdown going to 0, and there was one gym in the middle of all of this that hadn't had anything spawn on it.
Then the countdown went to 0. The wormhole just disappeared. It's like, see you again.
The wormhole just disappeared, and it said, "Pokemon Go." That's all for now, trainers. Thank you.
It was
very much
almost
for
like the
joining us.
Looney Tunes, like that's all, folks.
Everybody in the venue just went, "Oh, is that it?"
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like the Japanese Pokemon Go account is tweeting out like the found footage of Stack Attacker and Poipole and its evolution, and then Persephone in these sort of found footage. It's like, how sick would it have been to
just
said
to
like,
drop
hey,
one in that event? It would have made everybody's
would have been like, oh crap, I should have gone, that sort of thing, and it would have meant like London and LA had something exclusive, but those Ultra Beasts are probably coming like in a few months' time, so it's not like waiting forever. It would have just added that extra zing to it, because then it was literally a symphonized kind of disappointment as it ended.
This is why I use the example of how I feel after 3 months of the whole giving a good review thing. They miss every time. They miss a trick every time, and it's so great but just so poor. They're yet to get something incredible in every aspect. But like I said,
properly.
We're here for the long run. So
Let's see.
We got time, but boys,
is the news.
Well, ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome to Season 9, Mythical Wishes. Now, Mythical Wishes is going to run from December the 1st, 2022 at 10 a.m. You know that. It's like the
Season of
third.
Mariah Carey.
yeah. It's
No,
already
I'm calling it the season of Hannah Montana because it kind of looks like the Hannah Montana logo.
Right.
Make my wish come true.
And this is going to run until March the 1st, 2023. Bloody hell, 2023 at 10 a.m. That's so funny. They have released a trailer, which is really cool. There's a lot of teasers going on there. Potentially Mega Salamence, Mega Gardevoir, Rayquaza is in there. So there's a little bit of hype in there. I also did read out, boys, a really funny tweet that was like, why on these advertisement videos do they never show people playing in a car in a parking lot or walking through a shopping centre? It really
How
made me
realistic
laugh.
it is.
Yeah. But what to look forward to this season? So I'm not sure when this comes out, everyone. Trainers can make their wishes come true by selecting a bonus from 3 different timed research tasks. The bonus will be in addition to existing event bonuses. Now, this will be from XP, egg hatching, which I hope no one picks, and of course Stardust as well. But as I just said, no idea when this is going to come out. But boys, I'm really sorry. Can I just say, the way this website is now is so confusing.
It's very confusing. It really is.
We mentioned it for
Okay,
the Hoenn tour, and the season of Mythical Wishes. Like the seasonal blog post is getting more and more difficult to understand.
I think when they first started doing these websites, they were quite straightforward, but now there's so many side pages and scrolls, and
they're getting overzealous with
I
the whole layout.
think I
aren't they?
prefer
It's
it
like
when it was just one long page article that you could scroll down.
Well, when they did that change there, I remember it was the season of Alola or something. I remember Coops on one of the episodes back in the day was like, I love the design of this, and now they've just gone, well, let's just 10 times the volume.
Visually, it looks great. Yeah, visually, it looks awesome. But
so now it's just a mess, and you can't understand what's going on.
Maybe they were like, Coops, we heard you and we've got you. Now we're going to amplify it 10 times.
You wanted it, so now you're going to live with it.
But yeah, apart from that, we have got a Winter Holiday Part 2 event. We've obviously got a Lunar New Year event and a Valentine's event. But listen, we're going to cover all of this as the weeks go on, and I hope you stay with us. We have, of course, had a massive update to Go Battle League for Season 13, which is really epic. But the boys have said they've allowed me to maybe in the next few weeks have a little 5-minute moment with Marky Boy, and we'll do PvP corner. I'm not allowed to do that without him. That would be unfair. But now, new features and items. We are going to have XXS and XXL Pokemon coming soon. Trainers have found that a new Pokemon may appear in previously undiscovered sizes, XXS and XSL. And the last thing I'm going to say on this, because obviously we're going to pass the reign over to the boys, we're going to get theme stickers. Of course.
Stick it out, you man.
I do. But Milo, tell us through the new Pokemon encounters, please.
So they're doing a seasonal rotation for the next selection of research breakthroughs. Encounter Pokemon by completing the research breakthrough, the 7-day streak, which we've known to despise. One of the 6 will be available. So Shiny Galarian Mr. Mime, Coops' favourite shiny Delibird, Shiny Bagon that Sue just picked up off Incensed while we're recording, Shiny Dino, Shiny Furfrou, and finally Goomy without a shiny. So everyone expect to be getting Goomy every time.
Seasonal rotations. Different Pokemon will be appearing in the wild. Now, Coops, calm down a little bit because you're going to get really excited. Pidgey is back.
Where's the sound effect?
Which, of course, can be shiny. Meowth, Alolan Grimer, they can also be shiny, as can Patrat and Lillipup. But Gulpin currently can't be shiny till Hoenn Tour and Gramble. Plus more. And that would be the Pokemon appearing in cities.
Now, the Pokemon appearing in forests. Shinies can be Venonat, Scyther, Trash Cloak, Burmy, Cottony, and ones that can't be shiny, Victory Bell, Fomantis, and Morlul. Yes.
Wonderful. Inside of the mountainous biomes, shiny potentials are Ponyta, Makuhita, Archon, and Rufflet. And then the ones that can't be shiny, Rhydon, Pupitar, and Trilbur. And there's a bunch more as well.
So back to my favourite biome, beach and water.
How funny.
And the shiny potentials you can get here are Goldeen, Clamperl, Tortuga, and Inkay. And the ones that will not be available as shinies are Poliwhirl, Vaporeon, and Mariani.
And if we're going to split up the 2 hemispheres, in the northern hemisphere, which is us, I think. I'm sure it's us.
It is, yes.
Yes, Coops.
Thank you. And just to clarify, Australia is southern. So in the northern hemisphere, shinies, we're going to get Spinarak, Snowy Form, Cast Form. Let's hope it snows this year. Beldum, Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup, and Pidove. And for ones that can't be shiny, is nothing.
And finally, the southern hemisphere, which Coops we're definitely not in. The shiny potentials go to Ladybird and the Gen 3 starters of Trico, Torchic and Mudkip. Sunny form, Cast form, which I'm fairly confident will actually spawn, unlike our bloody Snowy form. Starly and Gibble plus more.
But it's saying that Sunny Form Cast Form is shiny, and I didn't think that had been released yet.
It is now live, December.
There you go.
It's
Good,
one of those
good news.
Well done,
As is the
well done,
Snowy.
Australia.
Yeah.
But the problem is the Snowy form in the Northern Hemisphere, also shiny, but it never bloody snows here.
Well,
It's
that's
never foggy
true,
either.
but today it was really foggy where I live, and they were everywhere.
Really?
Yes.
God, you're lucky.
Of course, moving into the new season's egg pool, and you're going to love this, guys. 2K eggs. Smoochum, Hazaril, Budju, can all be shiny. Mantike, Bergmite, can't, and more.
And then in the 5 kilometers, ones that can be shiny, we've got Snova. And that's it. And ones that cannot be shiny.
Whoa, that's so bad.
Yeah, it's Chingaling, Rowlet, Litten, Pop, Leo, Marani, and more.
7 kilometer eggs. Nothing can be shiny, as far as we know. It is all the Hisuian Pokemon, so Hisuian, Growlithe, Voltorb, Quillfish, and Sneasel return to 7Ks, but it does say, and more.
Moving on to the 10k egg pool. Get a little bit more tasty here. Tortuga, Archon, Noibat, and Rockruff can all be shiny. The Todger can't, and neither can the Jangmo-O.
The Todgers in eggs.
And then
Oh, dear.
for the 5 kilometer Adventure Sync rewards, this is very weird they're doing it like this, but you got Shiny Shink, Shiny Cranidos, Shiny Shieldon, and Shiny Happiny. And then for the 10Ks, you got Shiny Bagon, Shiny Beldum, Shiny Gibble, Shiny Dino, Shiny Rockruff, and non-shiny Goomy. And the following bonuses will now be permanently in effect.
Permanent.
Guaranteed
Nice.
gifts from Pokestop spins and increased incense effectiveness while moving. And the following bonuses specific to Season 9, Mythical Wishes. I really like this, actually. Increased damage for Pokemon participating in raids remotely. Love to see that. Trainers level 31 plus receive a guaranteed XL candy for each trade. Oh, trade.
Nice.
That's back,
still
yeah,
good.
that's back.
All
yeah.
trainers receive 1 additional candy for each trade. Whatever.
Nice.
Controversy here, because I like this, but very doesn't make sense at the same time. Trainers can open 40 gifts daily,
Nice.
but trainers can only send
Nice.
125 gifts daily. But look, let's not think about it, because Niantic hurt my brain enough as it is. But boys, that is big sort of news that's going to be happening over the next few months.
Yeah. And that last thing would be good if you actually could have more gift storage.
Yeah. So like I said, it makes no sense. That makes no sense. It's a bit like
It's a bit silly.
it's a bit like giving you 10 Pokeballs, but you have to catch 50. But look, I don't work for them, so
No, just clarifying. None of us work.
No, none of us work for Niantic.
I would love to,
It's a
because
bit-
I'd make the game sick, but they don't want me.
Indeed. It's a bit like the thing we had the trouble with trying to send out all the gifts at the Ultra Beast Arrival thing. We wanted to send the gifts to all these people, but you can only hold bloody 20 or whatever it's 30. Like,
Plus, the friends list was very sketchy loading
Exactly.
up. It was very, very,
Exactly.
very, very sensitive. Difficult to...
sensitive is the word, I guess. But
yes.
all I can say is this is the season of guaranteed XL candy from trades.
Yes.
I'm bloody happy.
So I might
Nice.
actually trade this season, yes.
Exactly. Everyone trades when that bonus is available,
Yeah.
and then when it's not there, no one gives a toss.
Yeah. Let's move into our WhatsApp messages, because we've had a few, but we're only going to focus on one message today. We'll play the rest next week. Guys, Lachlan's been back on,
Oh, God.
and he talks about trading and our conversation around trading last week, so let's hear what he's got to say, shall we?
All right. Hello, Incensed lads. It's Lachlan from Wayspotters, but I guess 3 out of 4 of you know my voice quite well. Just listening to the latest episode, and thank you for the good shiny vibes, because while listening, I did a Rockruff raid and got a shiny Rockruff. So thank you for the good vibes there.
Whee.
Nice.
You talked about trading again this week, and I held my tongue last week, but I wanted to put in my, 3.5 cents worth about trading.
Aussie dollar.
I think what I love the most about trading is you go to a friend, they put on a cup of tea, you sit in your chat, and you're just mindlessly tapping away. And it's about an hour and a half. And it's a great reason for more socially introverted Pokemon Go players to meet up and hang out for an hour or two without, running around like a headless chicken. So I really appreciated that aspect of trading. And I think I posted my stats on Twitter, but I'm a little bit higher than all of you, potentially more than you all combined. But
Smug.
I really appreciate the hours I've spent with friends, sitting on their couch, sitting at a burger joint, sitting at a coffee joint, and just having a good time as a friend, you know? And I also wanted to send in a voicemail this week because I wanted to side plug that as this episode of Incensed is released, if you look on your podcast feed at the Waste Spotters podcast, you'll notice we have an episode up with Masterful 27. So that will be dropping the same day as this episode of Incensed. And if you also look back on your feed, you'll find an episode appearance by Milo and Ian. So check those out, Coops. You want to come complete the set? And I'm happy to hear that you boys have submitted your entry, well, not entry per se, but your appearance in our upcoming 1-year anniversary special. So thank you in advance for that. I can't wait to listen to that live. But love the show. Genuinely first thing I can listen to when I go out and play Pokemon Go on a Monday morning. And shiny vibes all, guys.
No go.
Thank you very much, Lachlan.
Thanks, Lachlan.
What
And
did
yeah,
you
I think
not
that was
say
off the
last
back
week
of
without
that-
me. God damn it! He's
That was off the back of a
fuming.
chat we had last week. We had a message from another listener that was talking about what he liked in terms of mass trading.
Yeah, to be honest, I vibe with Lachlan and what he does. That's when I go trade with Starbucks or over a drink in the pub. It is passive. It's not like what Mark said a couple of weeks ago where it's like, you spent 8 days of your life. I haven't sat there at a table. Oh my God.
But
Give me the
time-wise, you have
trades.
spent that time.
Time-wise, but you can multitask.
We're male, we can't.
I'm sure... Are you incapable of walking and chewing gum?
You've seen me walking. I can't even walk and stay stood up.
That's true. You can't walk in a straight line.
But yeah,
Cheers
thanks,
for that,
Lachlan, for that message. And we do actually have a couple more WhatsApp messages for next week. But because today is very info heavy, we're going to sort of push those. But you'll hear them next week. And if you want to send us a WhatsApp message, please do so. The phone number is linked in the episode description. But we better get on with part 3 of tonight's news.
It's the news.
Let's talk about specifically this month, December.
If we were worried about the quality of November's raids, well, at least December's can be shiny. That's about all we care about, really, because from the 1st to the 8th of December, Virizion, the grass horse, is back. Wonderful. December the 8th through to the 15th, Terrakion, the rock bull, is back, I guess. And the 15th to the 23rd of December, Cobalion completes the Swords of Justice trio.
That's the one I'll be raiding because I still need that blue horse.
Okay, good luck. I will not be touching raids with a barge pole for this whole month because the 23rd to the 1st of January is Kurem with the shiny potential. Not black or white form, unfortunately, just the Boggo standard. The Mega Connoisseur would probably be quite happy because the 1st to the 8th of December is Mega Abomasnow returning. Mega Aggron is back from the 8th to the 15th of December. And then, boys, we've got a new Mega coming in. Mega Glalie from the 15th of December to the 1st of January.
Might
And
as well
that
not
will
bother.
be a better... it'll be that will be a better Ice-type
I'm
Mega
joking.
than Abomasnow. Finally, the raid hours. Virizion the 7th of December. Terrakion on the 14th, Cobalion on the 21st, and finally Kurem on the 28th.
And of course, when you're listening to this will already have happened, but 3 more Megas have been introduced into Pokemon Go, and they are Mega Sceptile, Mega Blaziken, and Mega Swampert, which would have been in a raid day for these yesterday if you're listening to this on Sunday.
Speaking of other events, I really feel like we need to change our podcast name for tonight's episode to like the bloody Pokemon Go News podcast.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Honestly, mate. But speaking of other events, keep sharp during the Mythic Blade event. We have got a new Pokemon, I should say mythical Pokemon, coming to Pokemon Go, Keldeo, which is a fighting and water type mythical. And the Mythic Blade event is going to be from Tuesday, December the 6th, from 10 a.m. local time till Sunday, December the 11th at 8 p.m. local time. So you've got a few days for this one, which is nice. And this is going to be Milo's favourite part of the event. For $7.99 US dollars or the equivalent, you'll be able to pick up the exclusive special research story, Something Extraordinary During the Weekend. Now, tickets will be available to purchase this special research story leading to an encounter with Keldeo in its ordinary form from that Tuesday until that Sunday. And if you do buy this ticket, you are going to get...
What have they got in store for us this time?
Oh, go on, Ian. You tell us what we're going to get, bro.
If you get this special research, you're going to get a Keldeo t-shirt for your avatar star item, 14 rare candies, 12 pineapple berries, there's one for Masterful 27, 2 incubators, 2 super incubators, 2 incense, and
that's 2
various
episodes.
fighting and water-type Pokemon encounters.
And yeah, man, like I said, Keldeo could be good for PvP. We'll have to wait and see.
Right,
and the increased Incensed encounters, as I said, then you're going to get 2 incenses. That's 2 episodes of Incensed, the Pokemon Go podcast. And these can all be shiny, which is nice. So you're going to get Machop, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, Beldum, Timepole, and Ferroseed.
Yeah, there's actually some decent spawns there. And of course, it all leads to an encounter with Keldeo in its ordinary form. Now, don't forget there is a second form of Keldeo, which is the Resolute form. We don't know how and when that will be available, whether it will be a form change or whether it will be another Pokemon release. But Keldeo, beautiful little horse-style Pokemon, the cult Pokemon.
Agreed.
And yeah, Coops, I think we've got some Pokemon debuts other than Keldeo, haven't we?
Yes, mate, we have. We actually have it with this. To be fair, I'll be honest, this event actually looks really good. I'm actually quite excited for it. But we're going to get a new Pokemon. It's going to be called Crabrawler. Hopefully, I've said that right. Crabrawler.
Yeah, because it's the boxing Pokemon. So Brawler,
Yes.
Crabrawler.
And alongside, not just with the incensed encounters, you are going to get wild encounters. Ian, come on, mate, let's tag team this. And the ones that can be shiny is going to be Mankey,
Machop,
Hitmonlee,
Hitmontop,
Hitmonchan,
Makuhita,
Meditite, and of course the ones that cannot be shiny, it's going to be Combusken and Monferno. And if you're incredibly lucky, oh my god, you might encounter Poliwrath. And of course the new
Oh my
Pokemon, which is
God.
actually really cool, Crabrawler. Now in raids, in 1-star raids, kind of annoying we've not got Marky Boy here to do this, but you're going to get Meditite, Weasel, Timber, and Timepole, which can all be shiny. In 3-star raids, shinies are going to be Aerodactyl and Skarmory, non-shinies, Poliwrath and Breloom, and of course 5-star raids, you're going to be getting Terrakion and Virizion.
Nice.
And I will just say this, which is actually pretty cool. Terrakion and Virizion will learn their special move, Sacred Sword, and as well, which is really cool, Keldeo will also be able to learn Sacred Sword as well, and being a part fighting type, this is really good.
Indeed.
And Mega Raids for this, it's going to be Mega Aggron.
Yes, and moving on to the field research task encounters, there's a lot being thrown at us for this event. You can
That's what I'm saying,
encounter
I
the
know.
following Pokemon: Galarian Farfetch'd, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, all can be shiny.
And just to end this one off, there's going to be a collection challenge. You know I love them.
What would this game be without them?
What would it be? And you're also going to get a fast TM and a charge TM. And let's talk this time next week to see if it was actually worth it.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah. So what else can we look forward to in December, Coops?
On December the 10th, we're going to have Elite Raids. Ooh. On December the 17th and December the 18th, we haven't got the details as of yet, but as of normal, it's going to be the yearly wrap-up December Community Day. But that's going to be from 2 till 5. But again, we'll chat about the details actually maybe next week.
Yeah.
From December the 15th to December the 23rd, we're going to have a bit like the Halloween event, the Winter Holiday Part 1. And then December the 23rd till December the 31st, the Winter Holiday Part 2. And then I kind of like this event. It's quite cute. A little bit pointless because I don't know anyone that plays on Christmas Day. But on Christmas Eve and Christmas
Hi
Day,
there.
24th and 25th, we're going to have Winter Wonderland. Hi there, shut up. And then actually, no, you're not lying, are you?
It really isn't.
And as well, actually, on Christmas Eve as well, or maybe this is linked, we're going to get Hisuian Avalugg Raid Day. So maybe that's kind of like a Winter Wonderland event wrapped in with a few hours of a Hisuian Avalugg Raid Day on Christmas Eve. So yeah, so those are going to be the events for December. Look quite good, actually.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good month. This year, Coops, I expect you to get your shiny Delibird. And hopefully Marky Boy gets his shiny Cubchoo.
I know.
But wrapping up what we can expect in December, well, Milo talked about the research breakthroughs, which I was going to talk about. So I literally only have spotlight hours to cover. So on December the 6th, you have Wooper. December 13th brings Sfeel. December the 20th, we've got Bergmite. And December 27th, we have Cubchoo.
Mark will be out in force on the 27th.
Of course, they can all be
That's for
shiny
damn
with the
sure.
exception of Bergmite.
Which may go shiny for the little Winter Wonderland event, because obviously Hisuian Avalugg
It would be nice. There's time.
would be cool.
There is time.
But that's December.
And that brings us to the part of the show that normally Masterful 27 hosts. But since he's off, and since we've got a really bad jingle, it's time to discuss the results of Milo's poll.
I can only apologise, listeners. It's usually a lot more impressive and majestic than it's going to be tonight. So, we put a poll.
What was the question, by the way?
Well, The question was very random. It reads, with Coops and Mark having both missed recent shows, who would you rather miss next week's show? In brackets, we're not swaying your vote in any way. So,
God, here we go.
in fourth place, with 0 votes, 0% of the votes, was Coops.
No one misses me.
With 4% of the vote is Casual Coops.
Bro, literally no one misses me.
With 27% of the vote in second place is ex-YouTuber Casual Coops.
Oh, God.
Oh, so who actually won then?
So this is just Incensed Podcast Gold. So with 69% of the votes,
Nice.
was Ginger Gandalf.
I hate you, bro.
Oh, that's brilliant.
my
And
God.
I'd just like to apologise for the 45 people who did vote. I'm sure there's a test you can get to get yourself cleaned up.
Shinies. Come on, Zoe.
Shinies of the week.
So I'll jump in first, and I've got one here from Mr. Mossum, TL50. Got my first hashtag shiny munna today, and literally 2 minutes later caught this shiny flying bug. So that was a shiny munna and a shiny Cyphel. That's a high CP. Hashtag shinies of the week at Intense Podcast, at Pokemon UK, at Goose Casual, at Ian Before Monster 27. Bosh.
Smashed it.
I'll jump in next. The next one is from HRH Kaylee, and simple message. Look at it. Hashtag Pokemon Go, hashtag shinies of the week. Didn't at Incensed Podcast, but never mind, we'll let you off for that one. Thanks, Kaylee. Shiny Snorlax, and it's a pretty decent one. It's a good 3-star.
Nice.
GG's.
That's a good win. And the final one is from Ben McKenzie here. Started listening to at Incensed Podcast and caught this during it. Hashtag Pokemon Go, hashtag shinies of the week. And I assume it was a shiny Sentret that they've evolved to shiny Furret.
Okay.
Oh, cute.
I believe that is a fresh listener. Don't think we've heard from Ben McKenzie before.
Thanks for jumping on board.
Welcome.
Congratulations on that shiny. I hope I haven't forgotten.
So thank you everyone for those shinies. And you know what? We used to ask each other if we got shinies, but none of us actually played the game during recordings anymore. So there's no point going into that.
Very
Now,
true.
before we do disappear, we just need to take a moment to thank everybody that listens to the podcast. Your support means the world to us, and especially if you are on our Patreon, thank you so much. So if you're on the bronze and silver tiers, thanks so much. If you're on the gold tier, you are the guys that make this podcast sound silky smooth. Milo and I might edit it, but it's you that make it sound impeccable. And those of you that are on the gold tier that deserve a mention: HermesNinja, TishSmith, JB, CliffordMert, DerbyRuss, Kerry and Zachary, Connolly, Dom the Ragnarok. My God, this list is getting long. Thank you very much, guys. Kimber, ML Falk 2022, and Apex 187. Thank you very, very much.
Holy dolly.
You can share stories with us. We love your stories, so send them through to us via whatever means you feel is appropriate. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Hive, Campfire, WhatsApp. Send us a voice message. It would be great. Or you can go old school by sending us an email. You know where that is. We mentioned them all at the top of the show, so just go back there and find out the @ and email addresses. But please ensure that you follow us or subscribe. That way you'll get fresh episodes straight to your device, and a 5-star review never hurts. And on that bombshell, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Incensed Podcast.
I choose you!